Evening, everybody. I'm Dr. William L. Brotherton Sr. Thank you for joining the show. I was raised in Michigan. Susie and I raised our family in Colorado. 2000, moved to Florida, retired, play softball for the rest of my life and have fun with Susie. And Till 2015 when Susie passed on to heaven. Eager to see her. It's been over 10 years. Memorial Day this year, it'll be 11 years since I lost Susie, and I know she's in heaven now. Scientific research has proven that. That's the purpose of this show. Almost no one realizes exactly what near death experiences mean and what it means to our future and for eternity. And my job is to share with you that information. And now I'm going live as we speak. I'm going to live on Star Maker, and we're going to have we'll have Star Maker join us right now. Star Maker is important. It allows me to sing songs and things. Most of you guys are fans of mine, so consequently, okay, Star Maker will be coming aboard. Create event. What I'm doing, I'm creating an event right now. Event. And okay, okay, we are set with Star Maker now. And, try to set this up so that we do both at the same time. Okay, now we're going live, and then we'll start the show right from the beginning. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. William L. Brotherton Sr. I was born and raised in Michigan. Susie and I raised our family in Colorado. 2000, I retired so that Susie and I could enjoy living, having fun in Florida for the rest of our lives. And for me, playing softball and biking and swimming. And for Susie, she just enjoys tagging along with me and doing what it is that she loves to do. Uh, I miss her dearly. I lost her in 2015 with complications with diabetes. So I know now, based on scientific research, thanks to Dr. Bruce Grayson, that I will be seeing Susie as soon as I pass on to heaven. Uh, I'm thinking I'll probably live another 14 years and play competitive softball until I'm 100. I'm 86 years old now, but I keep in great shape. People are amazed that I can do what I do. I still have 50-year-old teams that draft me to play on their teams because they think I can help them win games. So as long as I can do that, till God decides otherwise, I'll just keep on playing until I join Susie in heaven. And I know now that we'll do that. 5 months ago, I realized that as a fact. I always had faith that I would be in heaven. When I proposed to Susie in 1975, I did tell her that I will love you forever and I'll never let you go. And I wrote little stick figures and things and pictures of us being my age now, of old people helping me helping her onto the bus and things like that. She was moved by my little caricatures in my drawings. And she fell for him hook, line, and sinker. And she said, "I will." And shortly thereafter, she said, "I do." Uh, it's so important for us to know that heaven is a certainty rather than a wish or a hope, or that faith tells us that heaven exists. It's more than that now, and the difference between having faith that heaven exists and knowing scientifically that heaven exists is totally different. You go from hoping you're going to go to heaven to planning on going to heaven, which I have done for the last 5 months. And now that I know I will see Susie in heaven, for sure, my life has changed. Now, what is that? Strange things happen here. I guess I lost everything here with that. Am I still on there? Nope, I'm still on. I thought I got kicked off on the feed to Facebook and Instagram on the feed from Restream. And it appears I'm still there. I think Threads is also one of the apps that I am sharing with. Uh, task completed. Well, thank you for that. Okay, now, what is a near-death experience? A lot of you guys are new. Thank you, all you guys on Star Maker. I have tons and tons, hundreds of people signing up and joining me on Star Maker, and thank you guys for doing that. For some reason, Star Maker, for all my friends and fans and followers, I follow them. They follow me. It's quite a love relationship here on Star Maker, and I thank all you guys for that. It's a wonderful thing. Star Maker. We all love music. Some of us are performers, and some of us just love to listen to music and hear new releases by all of the different people who create music on Star Maker. So thank you guys for doing that. I appreciate that. I'm drawn to the picture on the computer screen because it's so clear everywhere on the phone, but I guess you're receiving the picture just fine at home. Okay, first of all, to understand how important near death experiences are to our future, and our future is definitely eternity, you need to know why I know that as a fact. In order for you to understand that, you need to know what the near death experience is. And most of you guys over here on Star Maker, and I see you guys are on almost every night. You come and join me, Edward, Cassandra, and all you guys. Thank you so much for joining again tonight. And a near death experience is when a person is presumed dead, usually by healthcare professionals, where their heart stops beating and the brain flatlines so that you are clinically dead. And people then have an experience following that when their mind leaves their body and they enter a pathway to God's perfect light. And God's perfect light is defined as a warm, bright, brilliant light with God embracing us as we become part of that light after we die. And we experience many things there. In fact, things that we experience during the time that we are presumed dead are so magnificent that people cannot describe what it is because there are no words that sufficiently describe what heaven is really like when they go there. You understand it while you're there. You enjoy it while you're there. It's amazing while you're there. But as soon as you come back to your bodies, then it's very hard to describe after that. There just are no words in the English language or any earthly language that describes what heaven is really like. And those are the types of things that people experience there. Some of the things they experience are embracing loved ones, uh, embracing God, the God Spirit. Uh, no, the Spirit does not say, "Hi, Bill, I'm God." You just, to me, that's God. Spirit, God. Spirit of God is everywhere. That's how 100 billion people who have roamed the earth get personal attention from God uh, while they are in heaven. It's scientific, so typically I don't think they include Adam and Eve on that estimate of how many people have roamed the earth since the beginning of time, but they will now because now we know heaven does exist, so consequently that changes everything. So some of the experience that people feel there are warm, loving relationships with loved ones and God. Uh, Whatever people are interested in, they seem to be able to enjoy those things while they're in heaven. The visions are indescribable. Your ability to taste aromas, scents, uh, the sounds, everything is so magnificent that, again, words can't describe it. I try to, people try to, but the people who have actually experienced it, they can't describe it either because it's just too magnificent to describe. Uh, Sometimes people who go to heaven will meet people they didn't know died. They say, "Hey, Jim, I didn't know you died." And he says, "Yeah, I got bad news for you, Bill. You're going to have to go back because it's not your time yet." So anyone that's been to heaven is told that at one point in time they need to go back to their bodies because it's not their time yet. So, so they have that experience. They go back to their bodies, and then, much to everyone's surprise, after they thought you were dead, now you come back in your bodies, and surprisingly, you are alive again. We know the mind is separate from the brain because there have been too many thousands of cases where people were presumed dead and they hovered over their bodies and watched surgeries and things and saw things from an elevated area that someone on the floor couldn't see. And they all those things were documented so that they were true out of body experiences, and the whole scientific community fully aware of the mind being separate from the brain. Once once you understand that the mind is separate from the brain after we die, then it's not a hard to believe that from there uh, we can go into through a passageway to God's perfect light. Once we are fully aware the mind is separate from the brain, it's not a big task to then go ahead and go into heaven from there. And that's where we will all be going when we die. And we know that for a number of reasons. One of the ones I just mentioned is tens of tens of thousands of people are recorded having a near-death experience and going through the passageway, going to God's perfect light. And there's just too many of them for it to be an accident. You could have, if it was a dream, you could have all kinds of different dreams. But in this case, everyone has the same dream, which by definition makes it no longer a dream. It makes it a scientific study because Dr. Bruce Grayson developed the Grayson scale, which created the scientific method for tracking near-death experiences, and now it becomes a legitimate study. And at this point in time, the study is a slam dunk. If it was any other thing, heaven exists. It'd be on every TV show. It'd be on uh, every newspaper. Everyone would know about it, but for some reason, it's not. I find it unbelievable that the whole world isn't given the information based on near-death experiences while people make their own decisions. But it's easy to make a decision when you realize that people go to heaven, find people they didn't know who died, and then come back because they're told to return to their bodies because it's not their time yet. And now they have to explain to all their loved ones, do you know such and such died? And they'll say, really? How do you know that? Well, because I just saw him in heaven. So but it's not that much of a stretch once you realize that the brain and the mind are separate things. While your body's alive, mind is part of your brain, and once you die, the mind is separated from your brain. And I believe also your spiritual heart, spiritual soul, all assembles and goes into God's perfect light, where you become part of God's perfect light. Oh, hum, that's just how it is. No surprise anymore. And when it strikes you that none of this is, it's not possible to be an accident. It's not possible uh, to ignore it because everyone has almost the same experience. Otherwise, it'd be all kinds of helter skelter type experiences all over the place with no organization or anything. But now you have tens of thousands of people all going through a dark passageway in God's perfect light. Uh, I tend to look at the computer picture. I'm sorry for it not looking at you guys in Star Maker because you're where all the fans are. Racing Rivers and Boss Bunky and all you guys, thanks for joining the show again tonight. I just explained what near-death experiences are. Uh, One more time, they see a ton of guys coming on right now, and I'm going to mention once again what near-death experiences are, and I think it's good to do anyway, because it is a new concept for you guys, and it's not really a concept; it's a fact. It's proven, thanks to Dr. Bruce Grayson and the scientific method, and uh, 4 or 5 decades of a study that's gone into this. And the end of this study, it's not over, it's ongoing, but out of the University of Virginia, that's where all the data is gathered from all of the specialists around the world. And little did I know that there are specialists in virtually every hospital setting uh, where people are alarmed when people say, you know what I had? I had a dream that I went to heaven. I passed through this tunnel and into this bright, brilliant light where I felt the warmth of God and saw my loved ones and embraced my loved ones. And had all these magnificent experiences, so magnificent, there are no words for it. It can't be an accident. There's too much uniformity. Tens of thousands of people. Not one of these people knew say, let's take 10,000. Not one of the 10,000 people knew about the other 9,999 people. They never, in fact, they didn't even know there was such a thing as near death experiences until they actually had a near death experience themselves. So, consequently, there's just no way it can be an accident. Now, you put on top of that that people are seeing people they didn't know die, and then tens of thousands of them, and then reporting what they discovered in heaven that they didn't know while they were on earth, and then they share that information with their friends. None of that can be an accident. It just has to be true. Pure and simple. Has to be true. And I know one by one, you guys, light bulb's going to pop. You're absolutely right, Bill. That can't be an accident. There's too much consistency. Too many people experience the same thing, and not enough people experience other things. Now, a lot of people experience other things, and they are included sometimes in near-death experiences. But Dr. Bruce Grayson attributes a lot of the some 20% of the near-death experiencers as having various different drug reactions and things like that, people committing suicides by overdosing drugs, and various different things that. Now, these people are presumed to have hallucinations, and if you go to, and I want everyone to check all of my research so that it's backed up by yourself, and you go and check it yourself. You check with Dr. Bruce Grayson's take on the near-death experiencers, those people who have had near-death experiences. And otherwise, it gets all mixed up with the people that Dr. Bruce Grayson doesn't think actually did have a near-death experience. Those people had drug reactions and things like that. It's a whole separate group. But unfortunately, if you don't go through Dr. Bruce Grayson, they combine all of the near-death experiences with the real near-death experiences, and it's a lot of mishmash. There's no consistency there. But if you go through Dr. Bruce Grayson, who knows who the real near-death experiencers are, and it makes sense when you've got some close to 80% of the people all sharing the same story. You can't tell a story and have it told to 5 people. It comes back to be a total different story. We got tens of thousands of people. Not one person knows another person that's a part of that 10,000. In fact, none of them even knew there was such a thing as near-death experiences. Come back with the same near-death experience, with some exceptions with interests. Whatever the person's interests are, that part of the near-death experience is different from others because God takes care of us. If we're interested in something, our near-death experience will reflect what our interests are. But the one thing that doesn't change is entering God's perfect light through a pathway. People describe the number one thing people describe is that it's a tunnel, and it's something we're familiar with. And so the term tunnel is used a lot. My wife Susie in 1960 had a near-death experience as she was presumed dead in childbirth, giving birth to Susie's number 2 son, Jimmy. And Jimmy still has a scar on his neck from the ordeal. And Susie was said to be dead, time of death, all of that. But she came back to her body after having her near-death experience, where she went through a tunnel, and she said it as clear as a bell to me. This was before I even knew there was such a thing as near-death experiences. She was telling me what her experience was when they thought she was dead. She had this dream, which we thought at the time. And if I knew then what I know now, I would have really questioned her about, well, what was it really like, and all of that, because I didn't know it was a real thing. I thought it was just a dream. But a nice dream. Wouldn't it be nice if heaven was like that? And she said, I can't describe it. It's so amazing, She said, and we kind of left it at that. It was, what a wonderful dream. Wouldn't it be nice? Well, it turns out heaven is exactly like that. She was just one of the tens of millions of people who have had near-death experiences on planet Earth right now, actually, not in history. Go back all the way back to the beginning of time. There have been reports of near-death experiences reported in different ways, but they weren't called near-death experiences, but they passed through a passageway in God's perfect light, had their experiences back centuries ago. So it's been going on for a long time. So that's 100 million people over the course of time who have roamed the earth, and That's a scientific estimate, and and uh, and they passed. Some close to 70% of others, 80% of those had passed through a passageway into God's perfect light. Same way. Otherwise, there are certain different changes with each other's dreams. Now, what does this mean? Well, we can. People are told that if they have a child that committed suicide, I was always told that's the one unforgivable sin. That you're going to hell if you do that. Stuff like that. You hear stuff like that growing up, and what did I know? Well, it turns out, they didn't know. They were wrong. When you get to heaven, according to tens of thousands of people who have had near-death experiences, God just loves everyone unconditionally. God doesn't judge anybody for anything that these near-death experiencers report. They said God is pure love. Just can't say more than that. You're going to have another name for God. It would be love, just pure love, unconditional love for all of us. Uh, Transgenders, they're persecuted here. They get disowned by parents. They get all kinds of crazy different reactions for what they're driven to do. Unfortunately, some of them can afford the surgeries they need so they can exist on Earth, so that they can live in their own bodies where they couldn't before. I got a feeling there's a lot of suicides as a result of those people who couldn't afford those surgeries. I don't know that for a fact, but you can understand if the drive is so great to have the surgeries, then they're not simple little surgeries either. They're life threatening type things, surgeries. Anytime you go under the gas and get cut on and stuff, it's serious business. But they're willing to take it because they can't live the way it is with them. And so it changes when they get to heaven. Then they're told, you know, we love you. Everyone loves you. All the people that you ever knew all love one another because all the differences that are created by day-to-day living on planet Earth aren't there anymore. All there is love and joy and beauty and just magnificence all around. So consequently, when the near-death experiencers come back and tell the tale, now how does that make the transgenders feel when they know that God isn't going to judge them for what they've done? God's just going to love them, just like everybody else. It changes lives. We need to tell the people about this. There are a lot of people in pure misery, even if they have a successful surgery, fear that God's going to judge them and maybe go to hell for what they did, based on what people here are saying. People tell them, you're going to hell. Well, come on now. You don't know that. As it turns out, you were wrong. No, you're not going to hell. You are just going to be loved in heaven for eternity until God decides otherwise. Until then, just assume it's for eternity. So, you guys get off your duff and repost the show and tell all your friends about near-death experiences and what it really means. Some people report meeting their children for that were miscarriages or abortions, either one. And they meet their kids in heaven and they know instantly who they are because it's just something you feel and you know it and you're sure that's your child, even though you lost them as early as the first trimester to miscarriage or what have you. And you know who they are and you'll love them unconditionally. There's nothing stopping your love there. When they report about soulmates meeting each other, the experience is so amazing. Way better than anything you ever felt on earth, even though we've had some magnificent times with our soulmates when we first connected. The ecstasy and all that was involved with that is not even close to what you feel with your loved ones in heaven. So, how important is it to parents who weren't able to communicate with kids? My daughter Cindy, she's an angel. She's a special ed teacher, and she's well known for this in the area where she can take people where they can't communicate with their children because of mental and physical difficulties that they just can't communicate. A little bit like Helen Keller type stuff. Uh, Hopefully, everyone has an Helen Keller was. Uh, she she couldn't hear, she couldn't see, and consequently took a very wonderful Cindy-like person to communicate with Helen Keller till it worked out that Helen Keller could actually put on seminars and things to explain what her life is like now that she was able to communicate. Otherwise, she would have never communicated without people really taking the time to help Helen Keller. Well, similar things with these parents and kids that can't communicate with their kids. Kids can't communicate with their parents. That Cindy will teach them sign language, be able to communicate with them. Special gift to do it, and then probably I think that's probably how she does it. For kids, get them to communicate, get the parents, and teach the parents how to communicate with their kids. Or she may just teach them all at the same time. I'm not sure exactly the pattern that's used. It would seem like she'd teach them how to do that first. I don't know why I'm wearing glasses. I'm not reading anything. Reading glasses. I'm wearing them. What does this mean now? When they're going to see those kids in heaven for eternity, and they will be robust, healthy children in heaven, and they'll be able to communicate with the kids for eternity until God decides otherwise. And just imagine, you love your children unconditionally, no matter what, but not being able to communicate and stuff. They all did have Cindy to help them communicate with the kids. Some of them go the whole life apparently with no communication whatsoever. But now in heaven, you will embrace them and love them just like any other child, because there won't be any deficits in heaven. The child will be exactly how the child would have been had there been no deficits. Unconditional love. That's why it's so important that we need to get this information out to people, because these people are living a horrible, miserable life here on earth. Now, everyone's going to live a great life in heaven, but why suffer through this life when we can do something about it? And you guys can do that. You guys can help share this broadcast. Make sure as many people as possible see it. Send it to your friends. Copy it, send it to your friends. Send it to tell your friends to send it on, and send it on, and send it on, as each person begins to understand. Yes, heaven is no longer a wish. It's no longer faith related. It is going to happen. And I know for the last 5 months now, I've been full of joy, because I know for a fact I'll be meeting up with Susie in heaven. when God decides it's my time to go to heaven. So I'm going to enjoy life here one day at a time. But you know, when you have that realization, you really enjoy this life a whole lot more. It's just a whole lot more fun. So, okay, long about now. I'm going to let all this stuff sink in. I'm going to sing some songs uh, on Facebook. You're going to get an acapella because I need to put my or I tell you what. This one time, I'm going to see how it goes and not do an acapella. Let me see. I think this will work. I haven't tried this yet, but I think I can just play the music, the background music, so it picks up, so that it picks up on the microphone here, and then I can sing into both of these at the same time, and hopefully it works out fine. You know, I have heard some recordings. It's not as nice as with my earplugs, but let's just try it, see how it goes, and that way, otherwise, it's going to be a cappella on Facebook. So let's see how this is going to work. Now I can use the glasses. And I'm going to get some music up here. I got 50 songs apparently downloaded. Uh, I should know I downloaded them. And okay, I think I'll start right from the top and just work because they come on automatically. And hopefully the microphone's working. Everyone can hear me well on Facebook and Instagram. It's being fed by a Restream. Restream is feeding it. I don't see anybody that's on the show there, but I know I got hundreds of people here on the phone with Star Maker. So uh, I don't know why Restream isn't, why my fans and friends on Facebook, I got tens of thousands of fans and friends on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. I don't know why Facebook and Instagram don't have any information, or otherwise I'd have a whole bunch of people saying that they're on the air waiting to chat. Uh, but I got tons of people here. Unfortunately, on the phone, I'm not able to because they say the Star Maker app isn't set up for having people on the air. I guess you can join a party and stuff, and that works out when you're on the air. I guess you can't. I don't know what that's all about. So far, we've been just making do. It had been a whole lot more fun. I know a lot of you guys have had your own near death experiences because they say as many as 5% of people, I find that hard to believe, 5% of the people had their own near death experiences worldwide. But that would mean hundreds of millions of people would have had a near death experience. So it's hard to believe. But hey, they projected it. All we can do is just share it. Anyway, let's do that and let it all this sink in. And, uh, starts off with All in the Game. Nat King Cole. Many a tear has to fall, but it's all in the game. All in a wonderful game that we know as love. You had words with him, and your future's looking dim. But these things your heart can rise above. Once in a while he won't call, but it's all in the game. Soon he'll be there at your side with a sweet bouquet, and he'll kiss your lips and caress your waiting fingertips, and your heart will fly away. I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. I know some of the light bulbs are going to go off in your heart and understand that, yes, heaven is for real. I don't have to hope and wish anymore. I know it is a fact based on all of the results of these studies. So, and it's important to share this information with everyone you can around the world. So help me do my part by sharing this information with as many people as you can. Once in a while he won't call, but it's all in the game. Soon he'll be there at your side with a sweet bouquet, and he'll kiss your lips and caress your waiting fingertips, and your heart will fly away. Yeah, after a few songs, I'm going to get back and talk about what experiences these near-death experiences have had, and the meaning of what it means to people living this life for the rest of their life until they do pass on to heaven. Someday. It's all in the game. Someday, when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you. Just the way you look tonight. You're lovely, with your smile so warm, and your cheeks so soft. There is nothing more than say I love you, just the way you look tonight. With each word your tenderness grows, tearing my fear apart. And the laugh that wrinkles your nose touches my foolish heart. You're lovely, never, never change. Keep that breathless charm, won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you, just the way you look After the show's over, make sure you send this show all over so that millions of people can get a hold of this information and change their lives just the way you look tonight. There's so much beautiful music. You ask how much I need you. Must I explain? I need you, oh my darling, like roses need rain. How long I'll love you, I'll tell you true, until the 12th of never, I'll still be loving you. Hold me close, never let me go. Hold me close, melt my heart like April snow. That's one of the great lines of any song. Melts my heart like April snow. That's how much I love you. It's true, Susie. I love you and I miss you. I'll see you soon enough. I know you're having a ball. I'm not worried about you. You're in heaven, so lucky you. Lucky us, though, when I finally make it there. I'll love you till the bluebells forget to bloom. I'll love you till the roses have lost their perfume. I'll love you till the poets run out of rhymes, until the 12th of never, and that's a long, long time, until the 12th of never, and that's a long, long time. Johnny Mathis. It's a lot different without the microphone and stuff. So you don't get the feedback and stuff. The good feedback. When you walk through a storm, keep your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm is a golden sky, and the sweet silver song of the lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams and blown. Walk on, with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Walk on, with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Walk on. Thank you guys for hanging in here. We need to share this information. There's people out there that suffer, people that believe their children went to hell because they committed suicide. Bad things are happening to transgenders that really don't. All these things, people really need to realize that what really happens when you do get to heaven. You don't have to feel bad. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none. When I'm stuck in a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick out my chin and grin and say, the sun'll come out tomorrow, so you better hang on till tomorrow, come what may. Tomorrow, I'll love you tomorrow. You're always a day away. Annie says it best. Trust in Annie. Thank you, Annie. The sun'll come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow, come what may. Tomorrow, I'll love you tomorrow. You're always a day away. Tomorrow, I'll love you tomorrow. It's only a day away. You're only a day away. Annie says it best. Okay, one more song and then we go ahead with the. I'm just trying this out, see how it works. Actually, if you don't sing it, the background song doesn't sound good. Let's start it over. I must add it. Okay, now what happens? Children with miscarriages, abortions, you see them in heaven. Even the fathers. It's another thing that can't be a mistake is that when the father doesn't know about a miscarriage, whoops, I better do this. They're going to turn me off of Star Maker. If I'm not on the screen here, it'll kick me right off. Fathers that didn't know that their wife had a miscarriage or an abortion, either one, first trimester. As early as the first trimester, fathers who have a near death experience meet these children. They're not children anymore. Everyone is perceived in their prime. Even I will be in my prime in heaven when I go to heaven, and everyone else is too. The perception is everyone's in their prime, including children that had died in their first trimester during a miscarriage or abortion. And you know who they are. And there's no guilt. Everyone loves one another. Everyone understands. There had been a reason, you know. There's no judgmental stuff there. I often wonder these people that judge you say you're going to hell because you committed suicide or you had an abortion or you had changed genders. No, God just loves. God doesn't judge at all. And all these judgmental people, I keep wondering if quitting smoking is easier to stop judgmental stuff that people see. Up, see, there you go. It didn't sense me in the screen, so tried to kick me out. Here, start. Uh, these things are just so very important. The difference between a tragic life on earth and at ease, more fulfilling life on earth. It's the difference. This is the information that has to get out to understand. We got to get the news. We got to get the TVs and the news to realize what all this means. I guess there's no money in it, no advertising money in it, maybe to report all this stuff. I don't know why they don't report it. They would at least give all the information, let people make their own judgment, their own decision. Uh, it's okay to judge yourself or judge what you intend to do, and that's just fine. But you know how important this is. You know it as well as I do. The only way that we're going to change that is to get this information out by any means. I think a good way is just to send this show through the reels and feeds of various different social apps, Facebook, Instagram, all of them, TikTok, all of them. Send this information through there. Also, send it to all your friends so that, and then encourage them to send it to all their friends and so on and so on until everyone has access to this information and make your own decisions. But certainly is a slam dunk. There's no way this can be an accident. There's no way that this can't be true. There's too many people with exactly the same entry into heaven, and then they're all having their own experiences based on their interests that God provides. This can't be an accident. It's just too many people doing the same thing, seeing the same thing, living the same thing, sharing the same thing. And then to be able to identify people who had died you didn't know were dead your loved ones because they may be in another country or somewhere else and no one knew that they died, or they died that recently, a matter of hours or days from the time that you went to heaven, when you had a near death experience, and come back with that information. And like I said, the fathers will identify, and when they get back, they'll ask, "Honey, why didn't you tell me you had a miscarriage? I didn't want, I didn't want to upset you, and I was upset." Uh, it has to be a fact. It just has to be. There's too many of them. Hundreds of millions projected, tens of thousands recorded, tens of thousands in the Virginia database that's shared. The way they share it is by publishing it. When they publish it, YouTube accepts that and it carries it on their app. All the information I have to say is, "Okay, Google, tell me about near death experiences through the eyes of Dr. Bruce Grayson." It's spelled Greyson, Grayson, Dr. Bruce Grayson. And he's the father of near death experiences, even though he wasn't the person who named it. One of his students wrote a book while in medical school about near death experiences. Uh, and that's how Dr. Bruce Grayson, it came to light to him that he had a patient that knew that Dr. Grayson had a patient in the hospital, and they were on the hospital bed, and apparently their mind wasn't working, and their body wasn't working, heart wasn't pumping, and then the mind left their body, and witnessed Dr. Grayson in another room of the hospital having a discussion at the very time this person was presumed at least unconscious. I don't know if this particular person was dead, but at any rate, the mind had left the brain and traveled through a wall to the next room over in the hospital, observed the conversation between Dr. Grayson and a friend of the patient, and then when Dr. Grayson came back in the room and the person had re-entered the body, they said, "Hi, I'm Dr. Grayson," and the patient says, "Well, I know who you are. I saw you last night. I saw you talking to uh, my friend, and uh, and you had a stain on your tie that you covered. I saw you covered with your jacket." He did. He had a spaghetti stain on his tie. She witnessed that, and Dr. Grayson, he was new at the time. I guess some 45 years ago, close to it. Uh, and when he was a new intern, came a long way since then. Top psychiatrist in the field, top scientists and psychiatrists out. And he was dumbfounded because he didn't believe in heaven. He was an atheist, pure and simple. Not even an agnostic. Did not even prove it to me. No, die, everything goes black. That's it. Nothing to worry about. You dead. Deal. That was his take on it. He said he didn't fear death. He says, "Just a fear. You just goes away." I don't. It's an interesting take on it. There's a lot of people not being alive. The way he said it, he didn't feel like he would be upset or live anymore. He'd be dead. There was nothing to be upset about. So it's not the typical take by most human beings. They don't give it up. But now, no heaven is a fact. Yeah, wish, a faithful. It's a fact. we know that. I know I'll be seeing Susie here when I pass away. I'm looking forward to. I'm going to keep going as I go, and I'm very at ease. I have the peace of mind knowing that what's at the end of this, and I think that's what happens to all those suicidals that are no longer suicidals, that have this near-death experience. And I didn't have a near-death experience. My wife Susie did, but I didn't. But I didn't need it. I got all the information gathered, and uh, and it's just too the facts are too real to not know that heaven does exist by virtue of hundreds of millions of people projected to have near death experiences, tens of thousands that have been reported by the University of database and published world as well. So make sure if you go to YouTube, okay, Google, go to YouTube, Dr. Bruce Grayson, and tell me what Dr. Bruce Grayson's take on whatever this is, whatever your questions may be, ask him. Uh, uh, Stuff that I've mentioned, just to see what the take is. How many people have had near-death experiences? How many people had real near-death experiences, and others that didn't have near-death experiences, but reported they did have near-death experiences through his eyes? And it's not like people were lying and anything. It was, they had experiences, had hallucinations, they had all these things. They're just not consistent. They're just that 20% is consistent. And it gets muddled in with the real near death experiences if you don't go through Dr. Grayson, because the programmer didn't realize there was a difference. But Dr. Grayson did. He's the expert, he's the father of near death experiences, and he's the one that knows who had the real near death experiences and who he thought did not. So, and I'm with him. Uh, I understand that. Yeah, there's a lot of those cases where people overdosed. Maybe they're in a lot of pain. They overdose just to get rid of the pain. And next thing you know, they have a near death experience and then they're recovered and they're back into their bodies again. But they are no longer suicidal when they get back. Suicidal. What happens there? I think you got a good idea of all of the magnitude of all of this. Uh, all the children with deformities, they'll be healthy. People that spend their whole lives in wheelchairs here in heaven, they'll be robust, healthy individuals where you don't need all the great bad conditions and diseases like MD and some of the ones that disable people and have a lifetime wheelchair and stuff of misery. Near death experiencers report their experience all over the world. All over the world. The common ground is people pass through an entryway, a dark passage to God's perfect light. And all the people around the world, of the tens of thousands that we're talking about, through near death experiencers, they all have that same experience. It doesn't matter if you're, if your main uh, mind building betterment, make you a better person, that God is something other than what they call God, like Confucianism, uh, Hinduism, and Jainism, and so many other religions. There's thousands of different avenues to seek God or to seek eternal joy. You've heard the various different thoughts on how people, like Hinduism and all the others. There's a difference there that the people experience what they expect to experience, like the Muslims. They believe in Adam and Eve, Abraham, Moses, Jonah, Jesus Christ, and all the way up to Muhammad. But Muhammad changed things for that particular culture, and it changed things. Our picture of the Muslims isn't good because of the press and the news and all of it, and it's all Taliban and that sort of thing, sorts of power hungry people that try to use God. I learned a profound thing, and I totally agree with the Doctor uh, uh, Pastor David Graham said about using God's name in vain, and it has nothing to do with swearing and stuff. People, people swear without even knowing they're swearing, let alone trying to use God's name in vain. That is what's using God's name. It's things like the Crusades, where churches say that God told us to do it. We're going to kill everybody that doesn't believe the way we do. That's not God. It's power hungry people trying to be powerful people, and use God as the tool to do that. Same thing with the Muslims. It's not everybody is a Taliban. Not everybody is that way. Some people just they believe in words of Muhammad and they pray to Mecca and all that, and they're very peaceful people, just like we are. It's not like, unfortunately, there's not a lot of resistance for the Taliban, but they're just power hungry people. That has nothing to do with God. It has nothing to do with the Muslim religion. It only has to do with power hungry people. And because there's not a lot of resistance, they make a whole lot of money and try to make a name for themselves and say they use it in the name of God. Well, God has nothing to do with that any more than God had to do with the Crusades. It's just power hungry people, different centuries. Our understanding of the of the Muslims isn't a good one because of this, and people try to do our own stuff. We got our own problems. Anyway, uh, yeah, that's using God's name, and that should be the number one sin. Treat others the way you want to be treated yourself. That's the big one, but that doesn't kill millions of innocent like all of this other power stuff is. So, the shame about it is sometimes in church, I've seen it happen where a child just couldn't compete, whether in music or some other way, and then church, and they're ridiculed for it in church, and they're driven away from the church. But the bad thing that happens is it's okay to be driven away from church, get away from that environment, but they're driven away from God at the same time. Well, that's not good, as long as you carry God with you, it's, there's no harm done. There's harm done, but not life changing. Well, life changing too, I guess, but it's not as nearly as bad as not taking God with you at the same time. And fortunately, I think most people get God back in the course of a lifetime when they're just kids. for something that they weren't quite able to do as well as other people in church. Something just seen that, you know, for heaven's sakes, don't blame God for that. Those just not so nice people in church, judgmental people, and all that stuff. I've seen it, so I don't. It's and it should. Now that we know what heaven is a fact, now it's quite easy now to get God back in our lives because we know for a fact we'll be seeing God. As soon as it strikes you, none of this can't be accident. It's got to be true. We know the mind is outside the body. We know that scientifically. Everyone that knows that, witnessing their own surgeries and all that sort of thing. We know that's true. It's not a stretch to know that we're going to carry on and say you were hit by a semi on the highway and you're killed instantly. You go outside your body and you witness the accident. You see yourself there dead and stuff, and you're drawn to that God's God's perfect light passageway. You're drawn. It's not a real stretch to think that your mind do that it can also go and be drawn by God's perfect light in heaven. It's not a big stretch there. It seems like a natural occurrence. And now that we know it's true and it's a fact, it's very easy to believe that that's happened. We do know, it's identical twins, telepathic. So the mind sort of thing is, it's a very acceptable thing, and by the world, including the scientific community. It's not much of a stretch to think that we can also go to heaven in the same way. In fact, that would be the logical way to travel to heaven through our own spirits, going away, away from our mind, and also our spiritual hearts, spiritual soul. Those are all real things. At various different facets of religions and similar things through the ages. It's pretty common that thought that way. It's not unreal to think go in heaven. Of course you and you do. And tens of thousands of people have the same story. That's reported. Hundreds of millions apparently have the same story, but they haven't been recorded yet. Or never. But still, there they are. And when you and it's gone back right from the beginning of time. Death experiences that have been recorded, peace and all of that. They've recorded experiences back then as well. I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to I'm going to pick up where I left off on the music. I'm going to use the earplugs, but you'll be able to hear me. Uh, uh, it's so much easier to sing when you're not trying to sing into two different microphones and things. I think you'll notice a huge difference here. I think even uh, it's not a cappella to me because I can hear the music in the background, and but it fills you up, and it's so easy to fall in love with the music, go with the music as a performer, than trying to do this. I mean, it's not a natural thing to do singing anymore. It's so natural by hearing what's going on microphone. So we're going to try that and see how it comes across. I think it's going to come a cappella wise. It's also going to come out real nice. Let's see how it works. Get a good picture of what musicians go through. So, and I think we ended up. Oh, I see. That's there twice. Son right here. Uh, okay. Yes. Diane and Rocco asked me to sing the anniversary song on their anniversary. they loved it, and I hope you enjoy that too. Uh, Canterbury song, it's such a lovely song. Al Jolson sang it. Uh, uh, and if you've never seen Jolson's story and Jolson sings again, you got to see that. It's he was considered the greatest entertainer in the history of mankind, just like Babe Ruth, as far as I'm concerned, greatest baseball player of all time. In that sort of way, that he was the greatest entertainer of all time. So we're going to sing that first. Oh, how we danced on the night we were wed. We vowed our true love. The word was said. The world was in bloom. There were stars in the sky, except for the few that were there in your eyes. Yes, I held you so close in my arms. Angels were singing a hymn to your charms. Two hearts gently beating were murmuring low. My darling, I love you so. The night seemed to fade into blossoming dawn. The sun shone anew, but the dance lingered on. Could we but relive that sweet moment sublime, we'd find that our love was unaltered by time. Yes, I held you so close in my arms. Angels were singing a hymn to your charms. Two hearts gently beating were murmuring low. My darling, I love you so. Grace, thanks for joining. Beb E. Ballards, thank you. Emily, Rock Sky, all you people, thank you. Love you guys in Star Maker. Love you guys all around on all the social apps. That's a lovely background sound. Hope you enjoy the live. To dream the impossible dream, to find unbeatable, to bear with unbearable sorrow. Where the brave dare not go, to right the unright wrong, to love pure and just from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, fight for the right, without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to that glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest, and the world will be better for this. That one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable stars. This is my quest, follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right, without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest, and the world will be better for this. That one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable stars. I hope everyone's having a nice night tonight. Tell your mate you'll love him forever. You better mean it now, because we know it's going to be wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Will I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with. Oh, like the river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too. For I can't help falling in love with you. That was my first song. I got 1,000 hearts on, 1,600 something. No, I can't forget the sea or your face as you were leaving. But I guess that's just the way the story goes. You always smile, but in your eyes your sorrow shows. Yes, it shows. No, I can't forget tomorrow when I think of all my sorrows. When I had you there and then I let go. And now it's only fair that I should let you know what you should know. Oh, oh, I can't live if living is without you. I can't give, I can't give any more. I can't live if living is without you. I can't give any more. No, I can't forget this evening or your face as you were leaving. But I guess that's just the way the story goes. You always smile, and in your eyes your sorrow shows. Yes, it shows. I can't live if living is without you. I can't give, I can't give any more. Can't live if living is without you. I can't give, I can't give any more. I can't live if living is without you. I can't give, I can't give any more. I can't live if living is without you. I can't give, I can't give any more. I can't live if it is without you. I can't give, I can't give anymore. Chances are, 'cause I wear a silly grin the moment you come into view. Chances are you think that I'm in love with you. Just because my composure sort of slips the moment that your lips meet mine. Well, chances are you think my heart's your Valentine. The magic of moonlight. When you sigh, hold me close, dear. Chances are you believe the stars that fill the skies are in my eyes. Yes, you feel you'll always be the one and only one for me. And if you think you could, well, chances are awfully good. I know a lot of you know now that Kevin's for real. Chances are you believe the stars that fill the skies are in my eyes. Yes, you think you'll always be the one and only one for me. And if you think you could, well, chances are your chances are awfully good. The chances are your chances are awfully good. Heaven is real. How else could the father know that his wife had a miscarriage? It wasn't that he met the baby and the child. Heaven. But honey, how come you didn't have a miscarriage? How could that be anything real? How could your friend die maybe in the last few hours while met up with Jim? I didn't embrace your love for everybody. How else could it? How could tens of thousands of people that had that same experience? It's probably far more recorded than actually than less recorded than what actually happened because it's not one of the questions that Dr. Grayson has on Grayson's 16 questions. That's not one of them. And unless the person volunteered the information, chances are probably wouldn't have mentioned it because he's busy talking about the 16 questions and the research. They're busy doctors and scientists and things recording this information. They want to get the 16 questions answered. Database, send it to the University all gathered from around the world by thousands of researchers and get that information. But even though a lot of them never mentioned the fact that they didn't know who died, still tens of thousands of people did and did report that when they get back home. So say, such and such died. I said, well, how'd you know that? When I saw him in heaven during my near death experience. Happens thousands of times. All of these things, any one of them is conclusive evidence that heaven exists. But all of them, all these different things, it took a few for me as well. Things as well. But each one of them, but then I began to analyze it. How could tens of thousands of people have this happen? All of them. That happened. All of them. Experiences based on all of them. Saw people they didn't know died. Or saw children that had been miscarried in heaven. And the Father knew it was his. Just knew it. Sensed it. And the child, which now is received in their prime in heaven, so are we. So will I be received as in Susie first met. And that's how it's going to be. We're all at our very best, sharing our love. What made us fall in love. That's how life didn't get no everybody's life. Time. But none of that happens in everything's in it's exactly everything. And they're all full of love. Follows God's lead, God's Spirit's lead. And God certainly can attend to 100 million people who walk down earth, share love with the Spirit. God created the whole universe, thousands of solar systems, all of it. Created matter. That in itself is spectacular. You have nuclei, electrons going around. Atoms joining other atoms, becoming molecules. Sorry, Star Maker, I got mesmerized by the picture. I'll be glad when I can get you guys on. So much easier. Each one of these things can't be an accident. Not tens of millions of projected, hundreds of projected have these experiences, and tens of thousands reported. It just can't be an accident. Everyone had the same experience of the true near-death experiencers. So make sure you go through Dr. Bruce Grayson when you go to, okay, Google, tell me about near-death experiences as reported by Dr. Bruce Grayson, and then you get the true story. Otherwise, it's just a conglomerative heap where the University of Virginia's database is just not even considered. It's just different reports by different people with no rhyme or reason. True near-death experiencers, as reported by Dr. Bruce Grayson, who is the father of near-death experiences, considered by most that. So one of his students is the one who coined the phrase in his student's book. While the student was a student, wrote a book. That's pretty impressive for a medical student going through school and stuff, write a book while they're in that process. So it's pretty amazing stuff. Uh, all this time, I haven't had one person show up on CF chats. If there was a chat, they'd be here. There are no chats. Actually, it's not even lighting up. Not even show me no chat. Oh, there we go. There it. Never misuse a comment. Click on a chat message. That's viewersstreamboo.com. What is that? That may be a message. You're going great. Oh, you're going great. Well, thank you. Unknown FR5HD, whatever that is. Love it. Unknown. Okay. Hey, thank you guys for that. I actually got people for the first time. Thank you guys for that. I actually have guys on the air for Steamboat. Or for Facebook. That's the first time that's happened. Well, isn't that something? Uh, well, thank you guys. I guess I don't have to type it. I can just say it if you're listening. Okay, well, how about that? All you guys, Simplicity and Primeval Hour, and and thank you for all of your love and support as well. It means so much to me, you guys, to do all that. So I guess it's going okay. Uh, Sometimes it seemed really smooth last night. Doesn't really seem quite as smooth tonight. So I was I was on top of all of this. So and I'm on top of it tonight as well, but it just doesn't seem rolling as smooth. I think because I've got both Star Maker and computer on there, and it's spreading my attention a little bit, where I can't concentrate on the message, maybe quite 100% because of the distraction of two pictures. And I try to, try to share with Star Maker as well as Facebook, Instagram, and I wonder where these people are coming from that sent me the messages here. That's the first time there may have been messages before, but I just never pushed that button. No, I pushed it, and there were no messages. So thank you guys for that. I appreciate that. Uh, Thank you for following all you guys. That's so wonderful for doing that. And of course, I'll follow you back. Uh, it's not a one-way street; it's a two-way street. I'll follow you guys as well as you follow me, and thank you for that. I'll be your friend. This anytime you want my friend. Back and forth. Love all you guys at Star Maker. All the music get along so well, and we support one another so well. It's a wonderful place to have it. I never watch TV anymore because of Star Maker and YouTube. I didn't even watch the Super Bowl. I'm enjoying social media so much, and I have a message that I need to share. That's why I'm doing it every night, 7 o'clock, every night, and it lasts for a couple hours. I think I got across all the points. I'm gonna sing. I don't know. You know. Okay, you guys on Facebook, send me. How did the songs go? I assume you couldn't hear the background because I have my earplugs on and I have it plugged in. So the music wasn't out loud, but it's so much easier to sing when I have that fullness of the background to be able to sing and not feel like you're trying to yell into two phones. Let me know how the sound went out to you. In fact, uh, yeah, yeah, you hear the sound. That was a silly thought because I have it plugged in. Of course, the microphone's right there. Of course I hear it. Okay, I'm going to end this with a concert, and and like I do every night. So hope you enjoy. I know a lot of you guys are fans of mine from music. That one song, it went okay, but it wasn't right exact sound. And I think I felt it. Okay, never walk around. Love anniversary song. Possible dream. Can't help falling in love with you. I can't live. Chances are. Love me tender. Okay, let's start with Frank Sinatra. I feel more like doing. I skipped it last night. My way. Now the end is near. Well, it is, and that's a good thing. It's heaven's coming. And now the end is near. So I face my curtain. I've never been happier. Friend, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case of I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway and more than this. I did my regrets. I had a few, but then again, if you to mention, I did what I had to do. I saw it through without exemption. I planned each chartered course, each careful step along the highway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you do, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all and I stood tall and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried. I've had my fill, my share of losing. Now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way. It was my way. Yep, it's a good thing now. I'll be in heaven. all that long. It was my way. Thanks, Jackson. Boom, Chakalella, or whatever. Jackson, KS, Amanda. A lot of Johnny Mathis tonight. Look at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree. And I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud I can't understand. I get misty just holding your hand. Walk my way, and a thousand violins begin to play. Or it might be the sound of your hello, and music I hear. I get misty the moment you're near. You can say that you're leading me on, but it's just what I want you to do. Don't you notice how hopelessly I'm lost? That's why I'm following you on my own. Would I wander through this wonderland alone, ever knowing my right foot from my left, my hat from my glove? I'm too misty and too much in love. On my own. Would I wander through this wonderland alone, never knowing my right foot from my left, my hat from my glove? I'm too misty and too much in love. Look at me. Jackson KS, boom, chakalaka. Thank you for joining USA, all around the world. You always ask me the words I say, and telling me what it means to me. Every single day I always act this way, for many times I've told you I love you, for this is all I know. Come to me and hold me, and you will see the love I give for you still holds the key. Every single day, you always act this way. For how many times I've told you I love you, for this is all I know. Even the sky will tell you that I need you so. For this is all I know. I'll never go far away from you. Come to me and hold me, and you will see the love I give for you still holds the key. Every single day, always act this way. For how many times I've told you I love you, and this is all I know. I'll never go far away from you. Even the sky will tell you that I need you so. For this is all I know. I'll never go far away from you. I'll never go far away from you. Even the sky will tell you that I need you so. For this is all I know. I'll never go far away from you. I'll never go far away from you. Even the sky will tell you that I need you so. For this is all I know. I'll never go far away from you. I'll never go far away from you. Fun new song. Thank you for all the requests for this song. Means the world to me. Sing songs just for you. Happy to do it. Roy Orbison. I was alright for a while. I could smile for a while. When I saw you last night, you held my hand so tight as you stopped to say hello. For you wished me well, you couldn't tell that I've been crying over you, crying over you. You said so long, left me standing all alone, alone and crying, 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 crying. It's hard to understand, but the touch of your hand can start me crying. I thought that I was over you, but it's true, so true. I love you even more than I did before, but darling, what can I do? Oh, you don't love me, and I'll always be crying over you, crying over you. Yes, now you're gone, and from this moment on, I'll be crying, crying crying, crying, yeah, crying, I'm crying, crying over you. God bless them. This is my favorite song. Just go away. Why you and I will by and by no true love ways. Sometimes we'll sigh, sometimes we'll cry, and we'll know why. Just you and I, no true love ways throughout the days. Our true love ways. Thank you for the beautiful notes. Will bring us joys we'll share with those who really care. Sometimes we'll sigh, sometimes we'll cry, and we'll know why. Just you and I know true love ways. Yeah, Susie and I used to, oh, a lot of telepathy going on. We knew what each other thought. Uh, True love. I so miss that, and I'm so looking forward to seeing Susie there, but not so bad that I can't live the rest of this life. Throughout the days, our true love ways will bring us joys to share with those who really care. Sometimes we'll sigh, sometimes we'll cry, and we'll know why. Just you and I know true love ways. Know love ways. That's it. So, that's you, Susie. Yeah, I'll say good night now. I'll be going as soon as I'm done. When the twilight is gone and no songbirds are singing, when the twilight is gone, you'll come into my heart, and here in my heart you'll stay while I pray. A prayer is to linger at the end of the day in a dream that's divine. My prayer is a rapture in blue with the world far away. and your lips close to mine. Tonight, while our hearts are aglow, oh, tell me the words that I'm longing to know. My prayer and the answer you give, may they still be the same. For as long as we live, that you'll always be there at the end of my prayer. Good night, everybody. Love y'all. See you tomorrow night at 7. Let's get more people to heaven tomorrow night. Make sure you share the show now. Share it. They need to know. People need to know what you guys learned. Like I learned. Makes life so much more fun. Time and again I would try to say all I'd want you to know. If I loved you, words wouldn't come in an easy way. Round in circles I'd go, longing to tell you, but afraid and shy. I'd let my golden chances pass me by. Soon you'd leave me, off you would go in the mist of day, never, never to know how I'd love you if I love you. Share this information with your friends. Can't hang up on Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace, pure love. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Was grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relief. How precious did His grace has brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me on. Amen. Love you guys. Love me back. You're gonna love me in heaven. We all love each other in heaven. Okay. Share. Thank you for the 47 new messages. Wow, that's neat. Let's look those up. Bella Bear, Betty Fowler, Jazzy Pam. Thank you guys for joining. So, how do I get out of here? See, notice and broadcasting. Now, post, send. I don't know where it got sent to, but posted and sent it. Hey, good night, you guys. I guess this one's over too. Love it. Thank you guys. That's so nice. Love it. All of that. Let me know how that sound came out. I think it came out a cappella. Did the a cappella sound okay? Let me know. I can do it the other way, but it's so much easier to sing when I don't feel like I'm yelling. I can hear the feedback. It makes it so much easier than to try to sing into two microphones without being able to actually hear and feel the music singing. So let's hang up here. End stream. Here we go. End stream.